Welcome to Dreamland Story Read Along. Grab your seat, get tucked in, and let's dive in.
The Skyliner's Rainbow Crew, Chapter 7. The Skyliner descended into a world of twilight and soft humming sounds. They had arrived on Zephyr, and below them stretched the whispering forest. The trees were impossibly tall, with leaves that shimmered like mother of pearl, and trunks that swirled with gentle, colored light. As the family stepped out, the air itself seemed to sing. Soft whispers danced on the breeze, too quiet to be words, but full of feeling. Some happy, some sad, some full of adventure. "What is this place?" Leah whispered, her eyes wide. Mother Jodiah held baby Jeharam and baby Saint close. The babies cooed, seeming to understand the forest's strange music. "It feels like a library of sleepy dreams," Mother Jodiah said softly, looking up at the glowing canopy. Venturing deeper, the girls followed a path of moss that felt like velvet. Ahead, in a small clearing, they saw a figure huddled behind a large, mossy rock. He was stout and furry, with large, floppy ears and a very sorrowful expression on his face. "Hello there," Mother Jodiah said, approaching him gently. The creature jumped, startled. "Oh, hello! Didn't see you there. Most folks don't." "I'm Grumblefoot," he sighed. "I'm the story weaver for this forest. Or I was." He pointed a furry finger to an empty, moss-covered pedestal in the center of the clearing. "I've lost my story crystal. Without it, the stories are all fading to whispers." "Lost it?" said Halo. "We can help you find it." Leah nodded in agreement. "Of course we can! We're the Skyliner's Rainbow Crew." For the first time, a tiny spark of hope appeared in Grumblefoot's eyes. "Where did you last see it?" asked Halo. Grumblefoot just shrugged sadly. Halo closed her eyes and tilted her head, concentrating not with her eyes, but with her ears. The whispers weren't random. They formed faint, sad melody, and it was coming from a specific direction. "I hear it. This way." Halo led her sisters deeper into the woods, following the invisible thread of sound. The whispers grew a little clearer here, telling tales of soaring birds and burrowing creatures. Jera scouted ahead, her keen eyes scanning for any sign of the missing crystal. The path of sound led them to the edge of a wide, deep ravine. The forest floor simply dropped away into misty darkness. But the sad little melody was definitely coming from the other side. "It must be over there," Halo pointed across the gap. "I can get across," Jera declared. High above, thick, springy vines crisscrossed the ravine like a spider's web. Without a second thought, Jera took a running leap, grabbed a vine, and swung gracefully through the misty air to the other side. After landing safely, Jera grabbed the end of the vine and tossed it back across to her sisters. "It's safe," she called out. Holding on tight, Halo and Leah carefully pulled themselves across the misty chasm. The melody was much stronger here. It led them to the base of an ancient, colossal tree. High, high up in a hollow near the top, something sparkled. A tiny, mischievous wind-sprite with shimmering wings zipped out of the hollow, holding the glowing story crystal in his hands. The wind-sprite giggled, a sound like tiny bells, and swooped around their heads, holding the crystal just out of reach. It clearly thought this was a wonderful new game. Halo watched its flight pattern, trying to predict where it would go next. "Give that back!" Jera shouted, jumping as high as she could. But the sprite was too fast, always darting away at the last second with another chime-like giggle. "It's no use," Jera said, frustrated. "I can't catch it." "Maybe we don't have to catch it," Leah said, a clever glint in her eye. She sat down and opened her pack, pulling out shiny gears, a small fan motor, and a handful of colorful metallic ribbons. With nimble fingers, she quickly assembled the parts. She created a fantastic whirligig that spun with a soft whir, its ribbons catching the forest light and flashing in a dazzling display of color. Halo watched, impressed. "It's beautiful, Leah." Leah held up the spinning toy up. The wind-sprite stopped its game of chase and hovered, mesmerized by the flashing colors. It zipped down, carefully placed the story crystal in Leah's outstretched hand, and then snatched her new invention before soaring away, chattering happily. With the crystal safe, the girls hurried back across the ravine and through the woods. They found Grumblefoot in the clearing, looking even sadder than before. "We have it!" Halo cried, placing the warm, glowing crystal in his furry hands. Grumblefoot placed the crystal on the pedestal. It settled into place with a soft click, and the entire forest came alive. The whispers became clear voices, and shimmering images of the stories they told appeared between the trees. Tales of ancient heroes, magical creatures, and far-away stars. The forest was awake, and Grumblefoot was finally smiling. The end. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more of this type of content. Bye!